back. Yes, and we're hanging out with some men a few minutes ago. Coming up next, this man, young, dynamic guy. Oh my goodness, I didn't know he was such a great public speaker too until I saw him at the forum. But let me keep quiet now because you're waiting for him. Put your hands together. Show some love for Bernard Avle. Bernard, welcome to the show, man.
Charlie, it's great to be here.
Yeah, we've had you on the TGI, but this is the KSM show, man.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
KSM show, man.
It's a beautiful place. Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. We are so happy to have you here today. And today we are doing the Citi thing, man. Partly because this is your 10th anniversary of Citi. Beautiful.
We call it Citi Style, Charlie.
Citi Style, Charlie. Yeah. All right, man. The Citi Style, Charlie. Yeah. And we were talking to some men, and he was telling us about that very interesting story. Yeah. When you put you on there, that's finally he's got it wrong.
Charlie,
how did you feel?
It was 4th December 2004.
Oh, you remember? Okay.
It was 4 days to the election, and then the host of the show had gone to Tamale to cover an event, so I was put on. I was 23 years old. It was interesting. Sometimes the younger you are and the more ignorant you are, the bolder you are. So I guess in the past 10 years, a lot of things I said and did then I would never dream of doing. Because I didn't know anybody, I didn't care about anything. I was just a young, hungry guy who wanted to make a mark on radio. Wow. So I guess it was a good gamble.
Yeah.
It was.
And you look back and you're like, but now you're big. I mean, size
I'm still the same. I need special prayers.
But you're huge now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, sitting in the same studio, the same size, the same air conditioning temperature, you can't really tell. So maybe you will tell me from outside. Yeah.
Oh, you've done extremely well.
Thank you.
And I listened to you, and I think one of the and as a broadcaster, we're all supposed to do this, but you listen so well. Nothing skips you. You know, they can be talking like for 10, 15 minutes, and you go back and pick some slight thing and say, you know.
I think I learned early that to be a great speaker, you have to be even a better listener. Because even without research, if you listen well to people, listen not just to words, listen for twitches, listen for changes in their face, listen for... So if you listen closely to people, you can get a lot of questions. That's how I come to this. Because again, I was very young, I didn't know too much. So sometimes you're interviewing somebody and all you have is the information they're giving you. Yeah. So you have to listen. But I also have a great team. I mean, a lot of the things we do on air, it doesn't have to do just with what you know, because there are lots of people who do background production work. And radio is different from television in the sense, as you know, you can be interviewing somebody passes you a sheet, somebody's screaming when the mic is off. You don't see all that. All you hear is my voice. So you think, I'm so intelligent. A lot of people are putting things into the questions I'm asking. So it's a great team effort as well, and also very, very close listening, yes.
Show some love, man. Now we want to meet your team, and who do we start with?
Okay, let me come with I've divided them into two because they are very explosive. Okay. So Nanama and Godfred, the Black Chinese, they will join me first.
So Nanama coming first. Nanama, put your hands together for Nanama.
That's Nanama.
There we go, like this. Oh, you didn't go through the lessons, sir.
So that's Nanama.
Okay. And Godfred.
Yes.
All right.
The Black Chinese.
The Black Chinese. All right. There. Okay.
Nice.
Actually, you do look Chinese, man.
So this is the first half.
This is the first.
This is the first. So sometimes I unleash these two, and other times I unleash the next two. If I'm angry, I release
put them all together. There's a deadly combination where we put them all together.
Yes.
So I think Sky will be in the next two.
Sky is the second batch. He's the village chief. He's coming in the second half.
Yeah. So Nanama, I hear you. Were you working in Kumasi or you lived there or something? There's some Kumasi like.
I grew up in Kumasi.
Oh, you grew up in Kumasi.
Raised in Kumasi.
Yeah. And you did work at Multimedia?
I did my national service and spent a bit of time at Joy FM.
Okay. Yeah. And then how did you end up on Citi?
It's a great story. So I was working for an NGO called Journalists for Human Rights, and I do work with per what I do with the NGO, I work with media houses. So I go by when we work with trainers, journalist trainers. So I do go to the media house when the trainers have problems to speak to the editors and not the bosses. So I drop by Citi FM to speak to Cement. And I ran to Bernard, who I have never met. And he says, "You sound like a friend of mine." I'm like, okay. We get talking about stuff, and he says, "I think you should come work at Citi. 2012 is happening, it will be exciting. You should come." And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a thought. Went home, thought about it for a day or two, and I dropped by and I started working.
Really?
Yeah.
So, Bernard, what did you see? What excited you?
I was telling some people today that there are two things. There's ability and passion, and I weigh passion a bit higher than ability. So I hired for the passion and train for skill. And this was a young woman who was raw, but very determined in what she liked and did not like. And radio is opinion-driven. She had very, very well-formed opinions. So I tell Samen, Charlie, this lady, and Samen had the same view about her as well. So this girl, she's it for us. So that's just how it worked.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that's why you're so toxic. I'm sorry. In a very nice way. You're quite deadly. You are deadly.
Well,
I mean, in a very nice way. In a very nice way.
If my dad watches this, he'll be surprised you say this, because my dad says I'm soft, and someday someone will walk all over me.
Your dad says you are soft.
Yes.
Your dad says you're soft.
Yeah.
No, Papa.
Really?
Yeah.
But that shocks you.
That is seriously something. Oh, wow.
He says I'm soft, but he raised us. He always said there's a big difference between humility and timidity, and you need to speak up. So that's how I was raised. You always have to speak up for yourself. I mean, I was raised in a home of, my father has 11 kids, and there are like cousins living with us. Plenty of people, you always have to speak up.
I see. Okay. You are speaking up. The Black Chinese. Akuto.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, come on. One more time, man. People don't understand the bias that's going on.
What just happened?
What just
It
happened?
means I get a longer interview.
Senior, so you went to the school?
Oh, yes, the one and only.
Where else, man? It's a senior means he went to the school, man. Even some others want to think that they are at the school,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
There's
but
only one school.
We know
How
where
did you
it
end
is.
up at Citi FM? Your story.
Well, interesting as well. I dropped in for a show. I had been with Citi previously as a guest on a program called Final Whistle, now defunct. And on my return from school in China, I was on holiday actually, I did a couple of guest appearances on the African Cup of Nations programs. Same time as Nanama, that was late January, early January. And on my final day, 2 weeks before I leave for China, I'm told Bernard wants to see me. And this was me at the reception, and the receptionist says, Bernard wants to talk to you. So I go back up, and Bernard says, I want you to stay and manage our sports desk. Like, come on, man, I'm going back to school. And it's like, no, you know, there are great prospects. We can have this discussion. So, you know, other things came up, and I considered it seriously for about a week. And then he had me go into Sir Mensah's office, and it's a very intimidating office. You know, you go and he's behind his desk, and he's normally like this, like, yeah, come. You know, offers you a seat, and it was quite fruitful. And that was it for me. My entry there was basically as sports editor. It had nothing to do
So
with...
you cancelled, you didn't go back to China?
No, you know, I decided to do other things from here, and it's been good.
Really?
Yeah, it has.
Wow. What were you studying in China?
Communication.
Communication
Yeah.
in Chinese?
Half. A bit of English, a bit of Chinese. here
Wow,
and
so
there.
you speak it?
Oh, we even sing Happy Birthday in Chinese.
Oh, really?
We can even sing it here.
No.
Sing it for me in Chinese.
So whose birthday?
Whose birthday is
Okay,
it?
let's.
Jenny
Kwai-le.
Kwai-le.
1, 2.
Juni Sherry Kwai-le. Juni Sherry Kwai-le. Juni Sherry Kwai-le. Juni Sherry Kwai-le.
Whoa! I see.
Yeah.
So you abandoned the Chinese communication thing?
No, I'm actually completing it September. You can call me doctor then.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're doing your doctorate?
Yes.
Are you doing that like online or something?
I basically am submitting my doctoral thesis, and that's it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What an interesting story, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
And so when you complete, you'll be a doctor. Akuto.
I don't really like titles. You know,
Yeah.
I'm Godfred Akuto Boafo. I've always been, always will be. I'm not one of
We
titles.
will call you Doc.
Maybe behind my back.
Amazing. I
So,
mean,
but the man was getting ready to go to China. He said, stop.
you know,
If it was the US, we would have stopped him. Oh, he thought, oh, China.
you know, you see, when you meet, I think there's a lot of providence in this as well. And because this industry is so new, we don't have an established tradition of training quality people. Private radio, as Samen said, started in 95. It's less than 30 years old. So if you see a good quality person, you go out of your way to convince them to be part of the story of radio. Because if we have poor quality people on air, it affects the credibility of the medium. So if you see somebody good, give them a good offer, an offer they can't refuse. And then they would, if they really are passionate about radio, they would want to be part of what you're doing.
Oh, I see. Splendid. Splendid. So now, they give you an offer you couldn't refuse?
Oh, it was exciting. I could, I could do Citi and do what I was doing then.
Okay.
So it was great.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But you are very sharp, you know. You tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may.
I think I've evolved. It wasn't always like this. I think it's over a period of time. Because I used to be terrified I'd be stepping on toes, and this is new, and I'm a woman, first of all. So it was, and gradually, thanks to some men who's like, just speak your mind. I mean, so far as you're not, you know, being insulting, we can go with it. So.
She used to be terrified at stepping on toes. Now she dances on them. She dances on the toes, man. Oh, well, you're all doing a great job. The morning conversations are top notch, you know. And I like how you do it, though. You know, Bernard, you know, keeps you in check. Yeah, you know, Bernard is always like towing the, you know, I'm checking them, you know. And you can tell when he's just saying that because he wants you to say more.
He's a bully. Bernard is a bully. He doesn't look it, but he's a big bully.
He's a big bully.
Yeah, he's a big fat bully.
Well, Narama
pushes us.
and Akutu, congratulations. We wanted to share this time with you and at least get a bit of the breakfast, the city breakfast, which I call it the vigilante breakfast. You know, a bit of it here. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. We're going to pause for a course. When we come back, we'll meet the other deadly duo, and then we'll be talking. Stick around. We'll be right back.